Most people think self-care is about comfort, candles, retreats, soft days. But the truth is far harsher. Real self-care is self-respect. And most people neglect it every single day. And here's the part almost no one notices. Only the truly perceptive will see what really matters in this video. Only the intelligent will recognize the deeper message behind it. Because Stoicism teaches something society has forgotten. You don't love yourself by pampering yourself. You love yourself by not abandoning yourself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Meaning, the way you treat your mind becomes the way you treat your life. So today, we're going into 7 Stoic self-care habits. Not the soft kind, but the kind that rebuild your discipline, your dignity, and your inner strength until you become truly unstoppable. Before we begin, take a second and comment. I respect myself. 1. Live by virtue, not emotion. If there is one habit that separates a disciplined, self-respecting human being from someone who is constantly pulled around by impulses, it is this. Live by virtue, not emotion. Most people today wake up and let emotions dictate their entire day. Frustration, insecurity, jealousy, boredom, anxiety. And when emotions lead, your life becomes reactive and unstable. You abandon your standards. You break your promises. You regret decisions you made in moments of weakness. The Stoics recognized this long ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Notice the precision of that line. He did not mention feelings. He pointed directly to virtue as the compass. Virtue is stable. Emotion is temporary. Self-respect comes from choosing the stable over the temporary. Stoicism grounds life in 4 virtues. Wisdom, the ability to see things as they really are and choose the right action. Courage, doing what must be done even when fear whispers otherwise. Justice, doing what is fair and whole. Knowable even when no one is watching. Temperance, mastering your impulses instead of being mastered by them. When you act from these virtues, you rise above chaos. When you act from emotion, you fall into it. Think back to the last time you reacted emotionally. Maybe you snapped at someone, avoided an opportunity because fear got loud, or reached for comfort instead of growth. Afterward, you didn't feel strong. You felt smaller because you betrayed your own standards. Now, remember a moment when you acted from virtue instead. Maybe you stayed calm when someone tried to provoke you. Maybe you kept your word even when you didn't feel like it. Maybe you told the truth though it cost you something. That quiet dignity you felt afterward. That was self-love in its purest form. Here is a simple Stoic decision filter that will change your life. Before you act, ask yourself, is this wise? Is this just? Is this courageous? Is this temperate? If any answer is no, pause. Do not act from emotion. Wait until your action aligns with who you want to be, not how you temporarily feel. This is not about suppressing emotions. Stoicism never taught that. It's about not letting emotions drive the car. Emotions can sit in the back seat, but virtue holds the wheel. For the next 24 hours, try this. Every time you feel triggered, breathe. Ask the 4 questions and choose the virtuous path, especially when it feels uncomfortable. Because emotions are wild animals. Virtue is the one thing that tames them. Power line. Virtue first, outcomes later. 2. Protect your mind with the dichotomy of control. And one of the greatest acts of self-care is learning to protect your mind from the things that were never yours to control in the first place. Most people drain their energy trying to manage outcomes, control other people, fix situations, or predict the future. And then they wonder why they feel exhausted, anxious, and overwhelmed. Epictetus offered the simplest and most liberating truth in philosophy. Some things are in our control and some things are not. Your entire emotional life depends on whether you understand this or ignore it. You suffer when you fight the wrong battles. You heal when you return to the right ones. The Stoics defined it clearly. Only three things belong to you: your judgments, your decisions, and your actions. Everything else is noise. Other people's opinions. The outcome of your efforts, delays, weather, traffic, betrayals, misunderstandings. Modern life pushes you to care about everything. Stoicism teaches you to care about what matters. Think about how much stress you carried last week that came from things outside your control. Someone misinterpreted your message. A coworker acted immaturely. A plan didn't unfold the way you hoped. Someone didn't reciprocate the way you wanted. You felt responsible for everyone's feelings. None of these were yours to hold. But when you hold what isn't yours, you weaken your spirit. Here's the shift. Every time something bothers you, ask one question. Is this within my control? If yes, focus your effort. If no, release it immediately. This single question can save you years of unnecessary suffering. To practice this deeply, use the Stoic 2-column reset. On the left, right, mine. On the right, right, not mine. Then sort the stressors in your mind into the proper column. You will be shocked at how much you've been carrying that never belonged to you. This is not apathy. It is clarity. It is choosing not to lose yourself in battles that cannot be won. When you protect your mind through the dichotomy of control, something shifts internally. You become calmer, clearer, harder to shake. You stop reacting to every disturbance, and you begin responding only to what aligns with your values. Your peace becomes harder to steal. Your energy becomes harder to drain. Your self-respect grows because you no longer betray your own boundaries. Let this be your quiet rule for the rest of the week. Do your best. Release the rest. Your mind is too powerful to waste on what was never yours. 3. Emotional mastery through the sacred pause. If there is one skill that instantly separates a reactive person from a self-respecting, grounded human being, it is the ability to pause before you respond. The Stoics understood something timeless. It's not the emotion that destroys you. It's the reaction you choose in the heat of that emotion. Modern life conditions you to respond instantly. A message arrives. Reply. Someone disrespects you. Fire back. Someone disappoints you. Panic, argue, overthink. But urgency is the enemy of inner peace. And the Stoics practice the opposite, the sacred pause. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. The moment you pause, you reclaim that power. Here is the truth. Emotions are natural, but reactions are choices. When you don't pause, you hand the steering wheel of your life to impulses, wounds, trauma, or insecurity. When you pause, you return it to reason, clarity, and virtue. To master your emotions, use the Stoic method, a simple ritual that saves you from saying or doing something you'll regret. Stop. Freeze the impulse. Don't move. Don't speak. Take 3 breaths. Each one forces your body out of fight or flight. Observe. Name the emotion without judging it. Anger, fear, shame, jealousy. Interpret and ask, what story am I telling myself? Is it true? Choose. Act based on virtue, not the emotion of the moment. This is not suppression. This is refinement. You are not denying how you feel. You are directing it. Think of a moment when your reaction made things worse. A text you fired off too fast. A comment you regret. An argument that escalated because you didn't stop. Now imagine the same moment with a 3-second pause. Different outcome. Different energy. Different you. The sacred pause protects your relationships, your dignity, and your peace. It turns you from a puppet of your impulses into a commander of your mind. Here's the challenge. For the next 72 hours, do not respond on emotion when a trigger hits you. Breathe, pause, and act only when your mind is clear. Because mastery is not about feeling nothing. It's about choosing your reaction. A single pause can save your day. The habit of pausing can save your life. Power line. Master your reactions. Master your life. 4. Premeditio. Malorum. Strength through preparation. Most people break down not because life is unbearably hard, but because they expected it to be easy. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Expect the challenges, rehearse the setbacks, and life loses its power to shake you. This is the practice known as premedio malorum. The premeditation of adversity. Seneca wrote, "He robs present difficulty of its power, who has beforehand contemplated its coming." In other words, prepare your mind and nothing will surprise you. This habit isn't pessimism. It's psychological armor. It is the difference between being destroyed by difficulty and being ready for it. Modern society has conditioned people to pursue comfort at all costs. So when something goes wrong, a delay, a rejection, a plan falling apart, a person acting unfairly, they crumble. Not because the event is catastrophic, but because they never mentally trained for it. Stoics trained for difficulty the way athletes train for impact. Here's how you practice premeditatio malorum the right way. Every morning, take 1 minute and imagine one small thing going wrong today. Not dramatic, not catastrophic, just real life. A meeting gets cancelled, someone speaks to you rudely, a plan falls through, traffic slows you down, someone misinterprets your intention. Then ask yourself 3 questions. If this happens, how will I respond with virtue? Wisdom, courage, justice, temperance. Pick the one you need. What emotion might arise and how can I intercept it? Annoyance, irritation, disappointment, counter with clarity and calm. How can I learn from it instead of resisting it? The obstacle becomes the lesson. This tiny exercise rewires your brain. Instead of reacting with shock or resentment, you react with readiness. You stop expecting the world to behave perfectly. You stop feeling personally attacked by inconvenience. You start meeting reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. And here's the hidden benefit. When you prepare for difficulty, you naturally become more grateful. The ordinary moments feel lighter. The small blessings become vivid. You appreciate life more because you are no longer entitled to perfection. The world doesn't owe you easy days, but you owe yourself a strong mind. Practice. Premeditation mealworm each morning and you will move through life with a quiet confidence that nothing, absolutely nothing, can catch you unprepared. Power line. Prepare the mind and nothing breaks you. 5. Radical honesty in your journal. If you truly want to love yourself, you must first be willing to face yourself, not the polished version. Not the curated version, but the raw, unfiltered truth of who you are and how you think. Most people avoid this step because honesty with yourself cuts deeper than honesty with the world. The Stoics believe that an unexamined mind becomes its own prison. Seneca practiced nightly self-free not to punish himself but to free himself. He understood that clarity is a form of self-respect. Radical honesty in your journal is not about guilt. It is about liberation. Modern life teaches you to hide. Hide your flaws. Hide your insecurities. Hide your impulses. Hide your emotions until they eventually take control. But what you hide owns you. What you face transforms you. Journaling is how you sit down with your own soul and tell the truth you've been avoiding. When you write without filters, you start noticing patterns you've been blind to. You see the excuses you repeat, the habits that hurt you, the beliefs that weaken your confidence, and you also see moments of courage, discipline, and quiet growth that you often overlook. To practice Stoic journaling, reflect on these guiding prompts every evening. What did I do well today? This strengthens virtue and reminds you that progress exists even in small steps. Where did I betray myself? Think of the moments you ignored your boundaries, broke a promise to yourself, acted out of fear, or lowered your standards. What emotion controlled me the most? Name it honestly. Anger, jealousy, avoidance, impatience. Naming it takes away its power. What belief fed that emotion? Maybe a fear of rejection, a craving for approval, a story about not being enough. When you expose the belief, the emotion weakens. What am I genuinely grateful for? Gratitude sharpens clarity and reveals how much stability already exists in your life. What will I correct tomorrow? Not in theory, in action. Because when you stop lying to yourself, you stop breaking your own heart. Most people fear journaling because they fear the truth. But the truth is the only doorway to change. Radical honesty builds identity. Identity builds discipline. Discipline builds a life you can finally be proud of. Return to your journal every evening like returning to a mirror. Not to criticize but to see, to understand, and to choose a better version of yourself tomorrow. Power line. Honesty heals. 6. Voluntary discomfort. Build mental immunity. Most people fear discomfort as if it were a threat. But to the Stoics, discomfort was not the enemy. It was the gym where character was built. A person who avoids all forms of difficulty becomes fragile, anxious, easily shaken by the smallest inconvenience. A person who trains with discomfort becomes resilient, steady, and almost impossible to break. Seneca practiced deliberate hardship to remind himself that comfort is a luxury, not a guarantee. He slept on hard surfaces, ate simple meals, and exposed himself to controlled difficulty so that when real challenges arrived, he was already prepared. He wasn't being dramatic. He was building immunity. Modern life has conditioned people to chase convenience, smooth roads, predictable routines, soft emotions, constant entertainment. But this comfort comes with a hidden cost. It weakens the mind. When your environment shields you from every difficulty, even a minor setback can feel overwhelming. Voluntary discomfort flips the script. It teaches your mind to stay calm when things are uncertain, to endure when things get heavy, and to stay disciplined when your emotions try to negotiate. Controlled difficulty is not self-punishment. It's strength training for the soul. You don't need extreme actions. You need intentional ones. Small deliberate choices that remind your brain. I can do hard things. I'm not controlled by cravings. I can withstand temporary discomfort. This can mean taking a cold shower instead of a warm one, walking instead of driving, choosing a simpler meal, sitting in silence without reaching for your phone, or having a challenging conversation instead of avoiding it. These micro discomforts teach your mind to stop panicking at the slightest resistance. When you regularly expose yourself to discomfort, fear loses its grip on you. Discipline gets stronger. Your tolerance for frustration increases. Your emotional stability deepens. You begin to trust yourself more. And this is where self-love becomes practical, not sentimental. You stop babying yourself. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop letting temporary feelings sabotage long-term strength. Each intentional discomfort is a signal to your mind. You are stronger than you think. You can handle more than you imagine. And little by little, you transform into someone who doesn't crumble when life tests you. Someone who stays centered, aware, and ready. Discomfort is not suffering. Discomfort is training, and training is the highest form of self-care because it ensures you will not fall apart when life gets difficult. Power line comfort weakens you. Challenge shapes you. 7. The art of saying no. If there is a single skill that silently elevates your life, your peace, your confidence, and your self-respect, it is the art of saying no calmly, firmly, without guilt, without apology. Most people know how to say yes. Very few know how to say no. And the difference between these two groups is the difference between a life that belongs to everyone else and a life that finally belongs to you. Stoicism teaches that self-care is not indulgence. It is self-protection. And nothing protects you more powerfully than your ability to refuse what drains you. People often imagine that saying no is rude, selfish, cold, or unkind. But the truth is the opposite. Saying yes to everything is the real betrayal. Because every unnecessary yes is a quiet abandonment of yourself. Every yes that violates your energy, your time, your priorities, or your values is a small fracture inside your integrity. And fractures when repeated become breaks. You cannot love yourself while continuously giving away your life to things that do not serve you. You cannot build inner peace while letting anyone access your time whenever they want. You cannot call yourself disciplined while letting guilt override your boundaries. Here is the Stoic truth. A boundary is not a wall. A boundary is a definition. It defines what is acceptable, what is not, and what you refuse to sacrifice ever again. Modern society rewards people-pleasing. You are praised for being easy, agreeable, flexible, or always available. But being endlessly available is not kindness. It is self-erasure. It is saying my needs don't matter. My time doesn't matter. My inner world doesn't matter. And when you send that message into the world simply agrees with you. To practice the art of saying no, you must first understand why saying yes feels so automatic. Most yes come from fear. Fear of disappointing someone. Fear of conflict, fear of being misunderstood, fear of not being liked, fear of appearing selfish. But Stoicism isn't about being liked. It's about being principled. It's about living according to what is right, not according to what keeps others comfortable. A powerful shift happens the moment you realize that you are allowed to say no without explaining yourself. You're allowed to choose your peace over someone's convenience. You're allowed to choose your rest over someone's expectation. You're allowed to choose your priorities without needing permission from anyone. There is a quiet dignity in a calm, firm no. Not an angry no, not a dramatic no, just a clear, grounded no that comes from knowing who you are. People who thrive in life all share one trait. They guard their time like treasure. They treat their attention, their energy, and their emotional bandwidth as extremely limited resources, not gifts to be given away without thought. The Stoics would say that your time is your most sacred possession. Every yes is a withdrawal from that account, and every no is a deposit that strengthens your future. To truly master this habit, begin by identifying what matters most to you. Your top priorities, your deepest values, your essential commitments. When you know what truly deserves your time, it becomes easier to see what doesn't. C. Clarity makes boundaries feel natural instead of forced. Then learn the language of a neutral, confident refusal. Stoic boundaries don't require excuses or elaborate explanations. They are simple, steady statements like, I'm not able to commit to that. That doesn't work for me. I appreciate the offer, but I'll pass. I'm choosing to focus on other priorities right now. I don't have the capacity for that. No anger, no guilt, no apologies for protecting your life. And here's something most people never realize. You're not teaching others how to treat you. When you stop responding to every request immediately.